All right, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Diesel, and we coming to you with a hot one on this one. It's funny as hell, and I don't mean to make light of my brother's situation, but God bless him for going through it, cause he a good one for it, and they got the right one. So, if it's unbeknownst to you, Afroman has been fighting a good fight in the legal front on behalf of everybody who look like me. If you brown, you should have your glasses raised to this boy Afro. Cause this shit funny, dog. And it's uncalled for. That's the main thing that I really wanted to call into question. And this was before I seen this video or the extent to what this has even been. Cause it's 2026 and apparently all of this has been going on for years now, over 2 years, I believe. And essentially he got wrongfully accused, and then that accusation turned into a house raid and destruction of property and then theft. My biggest issue is the theft and the property destruction. They broke his house down, they raided it, and then they like obstructed his cameras. And then after they left, there was a large sum of money missing. And then even after the money was recovered, there was a large sum of money missing. Right. And so we all know Afroman is a clown, is a comedian. He's a rapper, but he's a comedian. You feel me? And I don't even want to get into it too much right now. I just even seen it, but he made a couple of songs, did a couple performances, some music videos, and they're comedy. They're funny as hell. And they don't like it. And essentially, really what it sounds like to me is they don't like the fact that he monetized it and they didn't get none of the bread. Because they're suing this man for almost 4 million because he made some music about what happened when they broke into his house unlawfully, essentially, and then robbed him. Like the cops robbed him and then got mad that he made a song about the cops robbing him. Anyway, let's get into this. And one other thing I want to point out is one of the main videos I want to watch. At a certain point, the judge says, from the actions you took after the action that happened to you, these people have suffered pain and embarrassment and suffering. How do you feel about that? And his response was, I'm the victim. I'm the one who was wrongfully accused, raided, and robbed, and had my property destroyed. And the judge's response was, this woman's children has been embarrassed because of statements that you made. And he's saying, my children witnessed me held at point of an AR rifle and robbed. Where's the safety and concern for my family or my embarrassment or for our pain and suffering? I'm sitting here facing a lawsuit because they held me and my children hostage, essentially, while they destroyed my property and then robbed me. And now I'm liable to pay them money because I told the story? Man, if y'all don't miss me, got this lady up here crying on the stand and shit. My bruh. And the comments did just what they're supposed to do. And this is one thing that I just really wish more people would understand. This lady sitting here forcing tears out her face, talking about the pain and suffering that I've endured. But she's the one who was robbing this nigga. Like, what do you mean? You've endured, your children are sad because on the internet, their mom's been getting made fun of. This man's children saw in real time him get held at gunpoint and held for ransom, essentially. And now since the first time the robbery didn't stick, they're trying to rob him again. This is like, oh, the first time wasn't enough. Y'all try and get away with it twice. The illegal way and the legal way. That's crazy. I don't even know where I want to start with this. This right here is pure comedy. This is comedy. This whole case is comedy for real, for real. And it just goes to show that America ain't come too far from where it already was, man. It's like for this to be a court case over the fact that it's on camera that they kicked his door down, then broke the cameras while also eating out of his refrigerator. And at the end of the day, the count was off once they returned his money. What is there left to talk about? Like the fact that he's still sitting here having conversations should say so much. Like, this is a very patient man. Very patient man. That's why I say they got the right one. So let's kick it off with this right here. And what's crazy about this is this fit that he's wearing. This is the same fit that he had on in court that day.
Nice. Seen the corruption of the Adam County cops, stealing money, stealing cake when they make.
Like, how childish do you have to be to go in the refrigerator and start eating? Like, and it's on camera that you going in the refrigerator, and I can't front. I'm also looking at this like, Afro, what's up with your home decoration, dog? What's up with these checkerboard green floors, dog? You got leprechauns hopping in the bed. But that's neither here nor there. I will say this. This is one thing, you feel me, and how higher ups not gonna like this, but anywhere you see checkerboard floors like that, just know a game is being played. And you feel me? Watch your favorite music videos and see how many artists got the checkerboard. And then you feel me? Go watch some stuff and see how much stuff involved these checkerboard. It's a game of chess out here. It's playing chess, mental game of chess. But that's neither here nor there. I don't want to indict Afroman in the bigger world theory. I think he just has some bad home decor, and that's fine. He a millionaire. Fuck his floors. My floors need to look different.
Traffic stops. First they screw you, then they sue you. Play games and dismiss your claims. The proof's on the internet. Afroman will bring it to ya. Afroman is gonna do ya. Afroman is gonna screw ya. My proof's on the internet. Mine eyes have seen informants get busted with felonies. Tell the cops I'm.
All right, and so that's another thing to throw out there. He just said has seen informants get indicted with felonies. And so the woman who gave the whole information on him, period, to even have him questioned and rated is that woman, which we'll get into that later. I got a whole nother video clip of her making statements and claims on one of the officers involved in this whole thing. So let's just continue with this beautiful song. And let's say this is a lovely imagery right here. A big black nigga with an afro on the homestead front country land, dressed in all red, white, and blue, letting them know that we are America.
I'm a kidnapper and I sell a lot of keys. Raid my house and then get pissed, cause the dungeon don't exist. My proof's on the internet. Afroman will bring it to ya. Afroman is gonna do ya. Afroman is gonna screw ya. My proof's on the internet. My gate don't operate and my door is on the floor. My camera's disconnected. Lisa Phillips is up. Mine eyes seen the.
I love the fact that the video stopped right there. And was that the actual woman cutting the cord, or was that a parody? I hope that was a parody video. She ain't actually posting that shit like that. But all right, so that's the jokes and comedy. Let's go ahead and hop into this story a little bit, a little deeper. Let's see what we dealing with. It's honestly awesome, though. Shit. Let's get that one. Still got I don't even know where I really want to start. All these ones right here are the egregious claims. The one that, all right, let's start at this one. Because this is really the one that pissed me off. This is really the
And
one that pissed me
is it
off.
fair to say you were angry and upset about this search?
I wasn't happy.
Actually, no, it wasn't this one. I haven't seen this one. I started watching this one and I stopped because before, maybe it was this. Maybe it was this. It wasn't this video, but maybe it was this moment in the case.
And is that why you posted the things we've seen this week, because you weren't happy?
No, I posted it because the sheriff's never supposed to raid my house in the first place. The whole raid was a mistake. All of this is their fault. If they hadn't wrongly raided my house, there would be no lawsuit. I would not know their names. They wouldn't be on my body. They wouldn't be on my home surveillance system. And there would be no songs, nothing. My money would still be intact, nothing. So all of this is their fault.
And because they executed a search warrant on your home, that gave you the right to post the things that we've seen this week on the internet?
Because
Is that right? Is that right, Mr. Foreman?
yes, for
Yes.
tearing down my door, not paying for it, not being apologetic, me being a sport, doing something peaceful to raise the money to pay for their damages, me having the right of the freedom of speech as an American to talk to my family, friends, and fans about what the sheriffs did to my home. Yes, I had the right to my freedom of speech. After they left, I had the right to kick the can and to do what I had to do to repair the damage they brought to my house. Yes, I did.
That includes the right to post the videos that you've just been posting up until Friday and beyond, right?
Yes, I have freedom of speech. I'm a rapper. I entertain.
I think that's the craziest thing right there. They're like, did you have the right to record yourself making videos and music? Nigga, yeah. And he's like, the Second Amendment, I have the freedom of speech. Like, I'm not over here. Hey man, let's just get more.
I write fiction, comedy. Yes, I mean I entertain for a living, like you practice law for a living. So I have to go to work.
And is it fair to say you were?
I love the fact that he said I had to go to work, and I love the fact that he said it's fiction comedy. And that right there, I'm glad he said that, because I was just about to say some of the stuff he said could lead towards defamation.
You remember in your deposition when I asked you, why did you bring the news?
And so after his house was raided and he was robbed, they realized that they didn't have a proper reason to search his house. So he said they searched his house and they were looking for the dungeon. And they said that they were saying he was a rapper and he moved a bunch of keys. And that's why they raided his home. They're looking for the dungeon where he kept all of his rugs at, right? And so once all of that was null and void, they realized there's nothing there to find. They took all his money that they did find. He went to go pick up his money and he went with the news crew. Which honestly, I think is a good move. It's smart. He said he brought the news team and he brought his attorney with him, which I feel like any rich black man should do when dealing with a large sum of police officers and the accusation of being a rug dealer. I think that is necessary, especially because they're also accusing him of trafficking and not trafficking rugs, bro, people. So it's like, yeah, I think he did the right thing by having the news team come and by having his attorney come. Their issue is probably the fact that the news team came and then it publicized the whole issue. It blew it up bigger than they wanted it to be. That nigga fuck. So this question right here is asking, why did you bring the news when you picked up the money? This said he ain't want to get Epstein. I ain't never heard that as like a verb, like something that happens.
When you picked up the money?
Yeah, I didn't want to get beat up or Epstein at the sheriff station after I seen him running around my house with AR-15s. So that's why I brought the news and my attorney. So to make sure I got out of that place with my money.
You brought the news to.
And that's also crazy. The fact that they was running around with AR-15s, like, I mean, I guess if it's a raid, all right, cool. And I guess if you come in to look for some traffickers, I guess it makes sense. But to not find anything, you look mad stupid to show up pointing rifles at somebody for no reason.
Protect you physically.
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't bring the news because you already knew there was a miscount and you were going to make.
I didn't know nothing about the
hay out of
discount.
it.
I didn't know. I figured they stole my money. They turned my cameras off. So if you turn my cameras off, you must got something bad in mind. So yeah, I'm accusing them of it. You know, they turned my cameras off. I can't see what they're doing.
So your testimony under oath here today to these 10 jurors is that you brought the news when you picked up your money to protect you physically from being beat up or shot by the sheriffs, right?
Yes.
It's like, why is he saying that? Like, that's such an egregious claim. I mean, I guess I answered my own question in my head as soon as I said it, because this is a white guy thinking about walking into a room full of white officers and thinking they're going to upstand and uphold the law. Look, I'd be scared too. They already showed up at my shit and kicked the door down for no reason. It lets me know I'm not safe. Like, they got lies from somebody to try and get me in trouble. So how do I know this isn't a setup right here? Like, and this right here is something that I have to remember, and it's brought me to the conclusion that unfortunately some of our lighter skinned counterparts may never fully understand what it means to step into a space not designed for you and to feel uncomfortable or not safe. Because the idea of you not being safe isn't even acceptable.
All right.
And they volunteered the information that the money wasn't right. That's just an extra something we found out. But I came with my attorney and the news to make sure the people running around my house with guns didn't take me into jail and do something.
You had a safe in your home, correct?
2 of them.
2 safes. Did the sheriffs look into those safes to your knowledge?
Yes, they did.
The deputies?
Yes.
And how did they get the combination?
I gave it to my ex-wife so the sheriffs wouldn't pull my safe out the floor, take it to the station and put something in it and try to say that whatever they put in my safe was mine. So I went ahead and gave my ex-wife, who I didn't want to give my combination to, it was just safer. I went ahead and gave her my combination so they could open up the safe and realize that they just vandalized somebody that don't even have nothing in the safe.
And do you know what was in those safes?
It was absolutely nothing in the safes.
Don't you keep jewelry in those safes?
No.
Didn't you tell me that in your deposition that you keep jewelry in those safes?
I do.
Was anything missing from the safes when you got home after the search?
I didn't put nothing in the safes.
Was anything missing from the safes when you got home?
Nothing was in them, so nothing was missing from the safe.
You remember in your deposition?
I hate the fact that they try to ask so poignant questions. Like, from what's being said, we both understand that there was nothing in the safe. So why are we going back to the safe? From what I'm hearing, is about to sound like there was nothing in the safe. So how do you know what was missing? Or how much do you know was even supposed to be there? If there was nothing in the safe, do you keep your money in the safe? You said you keep your jewelry in the safes. And now you're saying you keep nothing in the safes. Before you told me you keep your jewelry in the safes. Now you're saying there was nothing in the safe. So how do we really know? What do you keep where? Man. I should have been a lawyer. Honestly, nah. All right. So this right here is egregious work. This is dirty work right here. This right here is fucking dirty work. This is dirty work. This is dirty work. So if y'all think 50 Cent is petty, Nick Afro is petty, bro. So we already seen one song where he is dressed suit and tie in an American suit, like American flag suit. And then he did a music video where he was talking about smacking somebody's, you feel me, mistress, his wife. He said, I smashed that. And you feel me? And he said it more than once. Like, long story short, he been trolling these niggas on the internet, but also telling the truth. He made a song where he presented the actual like paperwork to show that one of the police officers admitted to having relations with the minor. Egregious. And then this is the video of the woman who gave the report. This is the informant who told the cops to even raid his house in the beginning. And instead of talking about him, she's talking about the officer that she was working with. This is egregious work.
Brian Newland had me suck his dick in the interrogation room. Then he told me about all the young girls that he had sex with in Adams County. Brian Newland had me suck his dick in the interrogation room. Then he told me about all the young girls that he had sex with in Adams County.
That's egregious work. And then over here, this is what this Afroman had to say. This is the unconfidential informant who had my home raided. The PDF file police officer, baby making Brian, newborn Newland, raided my house. Based on the words of this woman in this video, her name is Tasty Tasha Chamberlain. Since this woman's word was good enough to get my house raided, I demand an investigation be open on the PDF file officer with the same woman he raided my house for. The unconfidential informant, Tasty Tasha. Hey, Brian, is that what you turned the mic off in the interview room and she had to be interviewed twice? Or is that why you turned the mic off in the interview room? That's crazy. The Afroman deserves at least $1 million from the county. It says wrong for you to write songs based off of allegations, but their warrant and raid on your house was based off of a rumor with nothing to show. The Afroman is a true patriot. Yeah, all right. Let's get back to this. Now we're just gonna go through a couple of different videos. Most of these I didn't even watch all the way through because I wanted y'all to get my like full-on reaction to what the fuck is being said. And I'm super sick right now. The main one I wanted to watch, I'm not seeing it here. But this, let's just throw it right here. This is funny. Especially his face. The fact that he held his face to look like this the whole time. Like it says the plug. This nigga look like the plug. All right. That's why. I'm not even about to read it. Y'all can see what this said. Deputy says Afroman song about his wife caused tremendous pain.
And that is the defamation statement is that he said he had sex with your wife.
Yes.
Okay. And that's painted you in a false light.
It's caused tremendous pain in my life.
I'll get to that. We have to go through false light first. So does it paint you in a false light?
Yes, that my wife is cheating on me with Mr. Foreman.
But we all know that's not true, correct?
I don't know.
I don't know. The hand gestures does it for me. His dumbfounded face.
Wait, you don't know if your wife's cheating on you or not?
You want to go there?
No, I just want to ask that question because you said we don't know. I just
Been with that
answer.
woman since middle school.
You want to go there? I've been with that woman since middle school. You know, I low-key believe that the idea of Afroman, even fucking his wife, did do that much mental harm and damage to him. He seems like he can't take a whole lot.
I would hope she wouldn't. But you know what? Once somebody puts it out there for their fun and entertainment, it's out there. And it's a problem.
So it's something we cannot verify the truth of?
And it's a problem.
Is it a thing that can be verified, true or false?
Ask your client.
Ask your client, where your wife at? Like,
Randy Walters is the son of a bitch. Ooh, yeah, that's why I fucked his wife and got filthy rich. Ooh,
Well, I guess that's why. The fact that he's using these effects and shit.
It's my dough. It's my dough. Stop stealing my dough. Stop stealing my dough. Stop disconnecting my video. It's my dough. It's my dough. Stop stealing my dough. Stop stealing my dough. Stop disconnecting my video. It's my dough. It's my dough. Stop stealing my dough. Stop stealing my dough. Stop disconnecting.
And the fact that there's footage of him taking the money too.
Stop stealing my dough. Stop stealing my dough. Stop disconnecting my video.
So,
Like, this whole thing is a fucking joke.
so people have come up to you and asked you if you were a thief.
I've had phone calls and I've had it happen.
When was the first time that happened to you personally during your career?
In my entire career,
Yes.
I never had anything until this came about.
You never had anybody
Not
ask you
told me.
about being a thief and when
No.
your wife was charged with theft?
No.
When your wife pled guilty to stealing from her employer?
Tell me why you would do that to the jury.
Your Honor, I
Why
would
you
ask
do
this.
that to the jury?
Your Honor, I'm asking a question that builds on his reputation. He says he has never been called a thief before, yet he keeps saying that everybody treats him differently. This goes to his reputation. He is used to this has happened before. To say that this is the only thing causing the problem has ever hurt his reputation, he's opening up the door so that I can ask the question about what's affecting his reputation.
So I'm going to allow this so you can see how it does or does not affect him alone. Just don't get caught up that your spouse's character is your character, because it's not.
Why the judge trying to help the jury separate what's going on? You supposed to sit there and, you feel me, make sure that they stay in line, not tell people how to interpret the wrong and right way to understand what they're hearing. It could just piss that everything makes sense and he just wants Afroman to be the wrong in the situation. You feel me? Because honestly, this lawsuit honestly shouldn't even stand up. For real, for real. They're suffering pain and damages because a comedian made a song. Like, come on now. After they robbed the nigga, y'all robbed the nigga, bro. Like, give him his money back.
So restating the question, Mr. Eastep, your wife did steal from her employer, correct?
Yes.
And it was a
Yeah. That yes was so
sum of money,
begrudging.
correct?
Yes.
Which is over $1,000.
Yes.
And you were part of the search of Mr. Foreman's residence, correct?
Yes.
Did you ever have any contact with the money?
I noticed some money in a coat pocket and I pointed it out to Detective Newland.
And is that the money that Mr. Newland testified earlier that was upstairs?
That should have been some of it, yes.
You see his yes and no's stopped. He started giving explanations. When someone starts giving explanations, that's how you know whatever the fuck is coming out of their mouth is deviant from the truth of the answer you are actually
I
asking.
didn't do the collection of it.
You just pointed it out in the pocket.
Yes.
Another officer took it out of the pocket.
He said, did you ever have
Absolutely.
contact with the money?
Do you remember which officer you pointed it out to?
I told Detective Newland.
So people have come up to you and asked you if you were a thief.
I've had phone calls and I've had it happen.
When was the first time that happened?
I don't know, man. Smells fishy to me. He was saying yes or no until he asked, did you have contact with the money?
Can you tell me what fact about you that receding hairline or dipshit refers to, please?
I'm sorry?
What private fact of yours does that refer to?
I mean, there's a picture of me and let's see here. Talking about
It seemed like he don't even care that much. He don't even know what he's talking about. And he said, what private fact does saying you have a receding hairline bring up? Nothing. You clearly don't have no hair.
see, I wouldn't trust him with methamphetamine crack ass alone in my house.
So,
I find that pretty insulting.
so that statement is what you're suing on.
Well, no. I told you this is one of many.
Well, and that's why we're trying to
You
find.
keep trying to make it singular. I'm telling you, it's not singular. It's plural.
Okay, and so one of them is dipshit, one is receding hairline,
Yep.
and the other is meth heads.
Yes.
Is there any more?
Well,
So he wants to say that he should be trusted around a bunch of methamphetamines?
he's sitting there making accusations against the organization that I, at that time, was working for, destroying community trust, all based off of a lie. That's what ultimately stopped.
And that's community trust in the Adams County Sheriff's Department, correct?
Yes.
Let's go back to
What's this?
Plaintiff's Exhibit 5.
Okay.
I unfortunately don't do technology very well. But this was Plaintiff's Exhibit 5.
What is this?
You said this was referring to you. Where's your picture in this?
I said, you asked me earlier.
Where's your picture?
No, no. You asked me
Your
earlier.
Honor, I'd ask the witness to answer the question.
Okay.
You can clarify that there's three.
Okay.
Is your picture in this post?
No.
Is that a picture of your father?
Yes.
So this actually pertains more to your father than you.
Correct.
Can you tell me what fact?
But what? That wasn't a woman? Whatever, I don't even care. But yeah, insulting is not defamation. His feelings are just hurt. They invaded his house, destroyed and stole his property, and didn't take any accountability. That's what destroyed the community trust. So there are 7 different officers suing this man for defamation over his music videos and social media posts after trolling the officers who broke into his house. I'm saying broke in because the warrant
I
was
love picking on
bullshit.
Joe. He's a good sport for it. Look at that suit. Does this look like a man who thinks that everybody's going to assume that everything he's saying is fact? I mean, he's like a comedian. He exaggerates for the sake of entertainment. That's who he is. I'm not going to say it's tasteful to everyone, but some people do find it entertaining. I asked an important question about them. I said, do you believe everything in the newspaper? No. Do you believe everything you read on the internet? No. We all know that to be true. A reasonable person knows that. People can post opinions, social commentary, and hurtful things all over the internet. And it is just to be expected. That's why we are supposed to use our own filter, use our common sense, use our experiences in life. So while hurtful, it was not fact. It was music, entertainment, stuff that no reasonable person would understand, especially not a public official, because we see it on TV all the time. We see it on the internet. You see it on Facebook. Sometimes people want to turn off Facebook because there's so much political commentary and stuff. But that's expected. Do I expect everything I read is fact? I don't even think most of it's fact. I think it's everybody's opinion, and opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one and it stinks. But that doesn't mean they can't have them. That doesn't mean they can't express them, and that doesn't mean they can't make a song about it. I love picking on Joe.
And see, I'm glad that he just said that way and just made it simple and was like, yes, he made some songs. Yes, he stated opinions. Yes, it may have been hurtful. But it's not rooted in fact. And y'all know that people say any and everything on the internet. So to sit here and sue this man for $4,000 because he called you a balding dipshit makes you a bigger
Started
dipshit.
this time, I talked about this case was about freedom of speech. But let's talk about what it's also about. It's also about music. Not all music is tasteful. Not everybody likes all music. There's some songs I hate. I think we can find plenty of people that find songs they do not like. But Mr. Foreman, Joe is a rapper and comedian. It's what he's done his whole life is rap, make songs. We got to think of what rap is, because Music does not exist in a vacuum. Music evolves over time. Take a look at jazz. It's evolved. At one time, it was distinct in a certain subculture, and it has now expanded. Rap is the same. Rap started out as a means for people to express social commentary, opinions through entertainment. Look at the song by NWA. What they call it? Fuck the Police. I think I said that right. It's a social commentary on what was going on in their lives, their personal affairs.
Look, I like this guy more and more the more he talks. He said, I believe they said, fuck the police. I think I said that right. And this is a case against 7 police officers. Oh, God. I don't know if that helped the case, though, but that shit was funny. At least he got a sense of
The
humor.
personal things happening to them, combined with entertainment, which unfortunately is exaggeration. Opinion, nothing of fact in that song. It's a commentary on society. And so when you look at rap, you see that over and over again. I had my secretary print me a couple songs, the rap songs, while I was pouring a cup of coffee. And the first one is Carly B, WAP. I find it bad to say what WAP means, but it's a popular song. I think it's somewhat derogatory, but then again, I'm not the audience for that song, and I know that. I know nothing in that song.
It's all about the audience
Nothing.
these days.
Talking about is true. I know it's entertainment. I know it's social commentary. Miss Grooms testified even her students knew that at a young age. The same thing I knew when I was watching Johnny Carson, The Late Night Show, and SNL, Saturday Night Live, with my grandfather when I was a kid. That's all entertainment. They make fun of everybody for entertainment. And some of it is a social commentary. But it is not fact. And everybody knows that. Nobody looks at Lil Wayne's song Pussy Monster and says there's a monster in that song. Everybody knows it's exaggeration for entertainment. Is he commenting on something? Sure.
This gotta be a joke. Did this thing really just bring up in the court of the law Lil Wayne's song, Pussy Monster? Everybody knows there's not a monster in that song. Nah, it's just Wheezy looking for some kitty.
But it's not fact. And I can keep going. Megan Thee Stallion with sex talk. I mean, it just goes on. They use derogatory language. It's designed to entertain. Drew Hastings, former mayor of Hillsborough, was a comedian. I got to go to one of his stand-ups. Some of it was funny, some of it wasn't. Some of his jokes, like those of Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor, some of them are not tasteful, but they're still jokes. They're not facts. And we know that. That's what a reasonable person listening to that would understand.
Keyword
and
reasonable.
That's the point. This is not a vacuum. We don't live in a vacuum. Let's face it, if we lived in a vacuum, we'd all be dead because we couldn't breathe. So we live in a world full of everything, where we see things. We watch SNL. We know it's entertainment. We know it's going to pick on people. We understand that they're picking on public officials. Hell, they picked on Joe. They pick on Donald Trump all the time, Sleepy Joe. I mean, go down the list, even Teflon Ron was made fun of. So as you go back, nobody thinks that's fact. Nobody's going to take
That's
it.
a great point. Look, the political candidates go against each other and use derogatory statements and defamation. They do it on national TV in front of each other.
Post their clips on YouTube. When they post their clips on Facebook, people don't look at it and go, that's the truth. No, they understand it's comedy. They understand they're going to talk about it going forward. And if you look at his posts, you see the little signs of that too. Iteration. Things that you see in a song. I mean, because after all, you know, a song's catchy, right? It has beat, song, you know, words rhyme. You know, she thinks my tractor's sexy, and, you know, it sticks with you. When we listen to Lemon Pound Cake, you heard the iteration. You heard how it came together as entertainment. So we don't exist in the vacuum, and a reasonable person doesn't exist in the vacuum. As the judge said, you are a reasonable people. You get to decide what's reasonable, which means you get to use your experience. You get to use your understanding of what those are, of your understanding of Joe, of your understanding of rap music, music in general. I'm not going to sit here and say that these 7 people were happy about what happened to them. I'm not going to say that. That'd be stupid.
But neither was he.
But what I am going to say is they are public officials. We see it on the news all the time, public officials made fun of. We started this time.
Right, like I said, public officials make fun of each other. So to sue this man because he made fun of y'all and 1 million people laughed at you, that's your own fault.
For Lisa Phillips, folks, I'm asking you to put $1.5 million in that verdict form.
He is so serious. They want 1.5 million for one person.
1.5.
You see how many times he rehearsed that? You can see the practice. So, all right, slow pan. What was that song now?
$1 million for Lisa Phillips.
Look, why he holding on to this? Why he holding on to that? Shit, it looked funny. It looked like, you know those things you used to scratch your head? That's what his hair reminded me of. It's just up there, floating, open. But let me stop
From
talking.
what she's been through for 3.5 years, may be going through for who knows how long. For Brian Newland, I'm asking you to issue a verdict for $1 million for what he's been through with his
That's
family,
2.5.
the loss of his dream job here in Adams County.
He quit his job. He didn't lose
For
it.
Randy Walters, I'm asking you for a verdict of $1 million.
That's
for what he's been
3.5.
through with the allegations and vile videos about his wife. For the other 4 plaintiffs, Sean Grooms, Sean Cooley, Justin Cooley, and Mike Estep,
Where they at?
I'm asking you for a total for all 4 of them of $400,000 divided among them.
Because they know they ain't got no
however
reason to.
you see fit.
Because they know they don't really even care. They probably was like, look, if everybody getting some money, then cool, I'll take some money. But if not, whatever. And this nigga know he getting a percentage of everything they walk away with. He probably looking to get anywhere from 30 to 50% of that whole 3.9. So however the fuck it go, if they get 3, he walking away with 1. That's probably why it even came to 3.9. Because he's like, look, this nigga got it. So worst case scenario, I won $1 million. 7 clients, $1 million isn't much to ask. And they probably said, you know, if we all could get 1.7 million, that's probably how they came to the 1.7 million. It's like, all right, how do I get $1 million? All right, I can get $1 million if I do 1.5, and then I just gotta give you a couple $100,000. All right, cool. Let's just 1.5 it is. Other people probably was like, look, I'm not trying to do all this bullshit. If you get some money, cool. If not, then fuck it. He's like, cool. All right, 100,000 for all of you, and then we'll just do 400 all together. Bring it to 3.9 because we get my 30% of that 3.9. I'll walk away with a fucking $1 million. Good job.
Based on their testimony. You, of course, can
The
award
dramatic
less.
pauses.
You can issue a verdict for more. That's what I'm asking you to say in your verdict form based on this testimony.
Honestly, I'm now after seeing that last pause, I don't even think those were for dramatic effect. These niggas really trying to think of what to even say. I don't think he even knew what he was about to say because he knew it was a bunch of malarkey and he already knew how much money he was asking for. So all he needed to do was say, "This is how much money you want for these bullshit ass reasons." And I know you can agree that what he said was fucked up and hurt their feelings. Nigga, fuck their feelings. I really hope that he ain't had to get him no money.
For Lisa,
This case is a complete joke. This jury better not award them anything. 400, bro, come on now. They should all be awarded 1 lemon pound cake each. That's actually funny as fuck. They ate his lemon pound cake off the counter. Like, come on, bro. How you raid somebody's house and start
you're all
eating?
here now in this place, in this courtroom, for a reason. And I believe there's a power higher than us that brought you here today to do this job.
Why you start trying to talk to them about God before they get time to make their decision? Like, God's gonna say that he needs to pay them $3.9 million because he called a nigga a
That you
dipshit.
are the chosen people to do it. Nobody else is going to do it.
They're the chosen people.
This is the day
Trying to make them feel
decide.
special. The thing is, there's some people who be like, yeah, let's take this money and give it to them so they can have some money. For me, I'm like, nigga, I don't give a fuck if I get the money or not, bro. I ain't getting the money. Like, stop trying to make me feel special so I could go ahead and do what makes you feel special.
Whether Mr. Foreman gets away with what he's done and whether these plaintiffs deserve something to make up for what they've been through, and whether the community is told that what he did is unacceptable. It's not okay. We talked about different kinds of damages. There's not going to be economic damages in this case. There's no doctor bills. There's no damaged property. There's damage to reputation. There's pain and suffering. There's public humiliation. There's everything you saw and heard from these detectives from the witness stand. And the only thing you can do as a jury to decide this case is to render a verdict of money that somehow stands in, somehow represents the harm that these deputy sheriffs.
Did he really just say the only thing that you could do is render a verdict of money? So all you can do is pay them for what he said. Bro, if you don't, bruh, it made my balls it. He said the only thing you can do is render a verdict of money.
Have been put through over 3.5 years. That's all you can do. You can't issue an order that says stop. You can't issue an order that says, say you're sorry. All you can do is issue a verdict for an amount that fairly stands in, represents what they've been through, what they've lost. And I'll start by posing this question. Do you think that if there had been an advertisement in some newspaper that said, we will give you $2 million if you are willing to go through what Lisa Phillips has been through for the last 3.5 years? Would you take that deal? Do you think she would have taken that deal? Yeah, 2 million, that's a, you know, maybe I'll go through that. Of course not. Do you think Randy Walters, do you think Brian Newland, do you think any of these deputies would have accepted some amount of money in order to go through, in exchange for going through what they've been through?
I feel like that's a very stupid question. I really feel like that's a dumbass question. Would they have answered an article to have accepted to have somebody make a song about them? Is that his question? I think that's a dumbass question.
I don't think so. And I think, you know, nothing is worth
$1 million?
going through what they've been through. And of course, he says he's not going to stop. He says nothing can stop it.
Oh no. Why are you trying to take this man's Second Amendment rights so hard? Like, he's allowed to say whatever he wants to say.
Maybe something can stop him if you tell him through your verdict that he needs to stop. You're all here now in this place.
Yeah, this whole thing is a joke. I mean, I commend him for keeping a straight face.
So, Ms. Grooms, has Mr. Foreman's posts about Sean or any of the general posts about the Adams County Sheriff's Department as a whole affected your life any at all?
No.
The fact that this woman could sit here and say no so easily, and then you got these grown ass men sitting up here crying, talking about it hurt my feelings and distressed me and all this shit. That's how you know it's a
Would you believe it
joke.
would have affected your life while you were married to Sean?
If it had any effect, I guess that would be the time it would have an effect.
But as his spouse, you would have expected it.
Yes.
So wait, you telling me the woman that he claimed to have smashed isn't even married to the dude no more? So he's really just embarrassed is literally it. It's not even like his wife would have been cheating on him because it's not even his wife. That's wild.
And I don't want you to go into too many details, but is it fair to say that Mr. Foreman, the posts about the police department, everything had not a damn thing to do with your relationship between you and Sean and why it came to an end?
No, it did not.
So the posts never affected your life, never affected your marriage?
No.
Okay. So any statement to the contrary would be false?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. No further questions at this time, Your Honor.
That's crazy. The way she looked down was like she sad the whole thing even happened. And no.
And is it true that one of your big motivation really in making all of these posts is to make money?
To pay for the damage that they brought to my house under the circumstance that they shouldn't have even been there in the first place.
So the answer to my question is yes, your motivation was to make money.
To pay for the damages that they brought to my house under the circumstances that they shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Have you made enough?
And I love the fact that he repeated the same thing twice. I love the fact he said the same thing twice. He's like, look, I'm not going to give you a blanket yes because this is some bullshit. So here's the reason why. If you want to simple it down to me just wanting some money, sure. But no, my want was to replace the damages that had, or repair the damages that had been accrued because of their wrongful intrusion.
Yet to make up for it?
Not really. You know.
How much have you made on it?
I don't know exactly, but it wasn't hardly $24,000.
$24,000.
It wasn't that. It wasn't that.
You're still making money on today, right? With the new posts and advertisements and things.
It's publicity.
You're still selling merchandise, aren't you?
No, publicity. Just everybody, thanks to them bringing publicity to this, it's just an opportunity to run numbers up and be an entertainer.
And the more lies, outrageous lies you tell about them, the more money you can make, right?
Fact, they never should have came to my house in the first place. Fact, if they hadn't have came to my house, they wouldn't have put themselves on.
Dude is asking such leading questions, saying the more egregious things you say, the more money you can make. If he said yes, it was like, so you've just been lying and saying crazy this whole time to make more money. No, dog, I'm telling the truth. What are you talking about? I don't know. I think it's just crazy how the judge is asking such leading questions as if he's supposed to just blanket answer and say yes or something. Like, dog, what?
This is like an art.
A video camera and in my music career. All of this is their fact. All of this is their fault. And they have the audacity to sue me. These people and you are the predators and the victims at the same time.
So what they did, searching your house, gave you the right to do everything you
Under
did.
the circumstance that I got freedom of speech, after they run around my house with guns and kick down my door, I got the right to kick a can in my backyard, use my freedom of speech, turn my bad times into a good time. Yes, I do.
I think that's part of the craziest thing too, where they're like asking him to not make songs, where it's like he has the freedom of speech to say pretty much whatever he wants. Like how they feel about it, okay, but you can't tell this nigga he can't make a song.
Because I don't go to their house, kick down their doors, flip them off on their surveillance cameras, then try to play the victim and sue them.
And is it true that one of your big motivation, really, and is it fair to say you were angry and upset about this search?
I wasn't happy.
Yeah, I wasn't happy.
And is that why you posted the things we've seen this week, because you weren't happy?
No, I posted it because the sheriff's never supposed to raid my house in the first place. The whole raid was a mistake. All of this is their fault. If they hadn't have wrongly raided my house, there would be no lawsuit. I would not know their names. They wouldn't be on my body. They wouldn't be on my home surveillance system. And there would be no songs, nothing. My money would still be intact, nothing. So all of this is their fault.
And because they executed a search warrant on your home, that gave you the right to post the things that we've seen this week on the internet?
Because
Is that right? Is that right, Mr. Foreman?
Yes, but
Yes.
tearing down my door, not paying for it, not being apologetic, me being a sport, doing something peaceful to raise the money to pay for their damages, me having the right of the freedom of speech as an American to talk to my family, friends, and fans about what the sheriff did to my home. Yes, I had the right to my freedom of speech. After they left, I had the right to kick the can and to do what I had to do to repair the damage they brought to my house. Yes, I did.
That includes the right to post the videos that you've just been posting up until Friday and beyond, right?
Yes, I have freedom of speech. I'm a rapper. I entertain. I write fiction, comedy. Yes, I entertain for a living like you practice law for a living. So I have to go to work.
And is it fair to say you were angry and upset about this search?
I wasn't happy.
Hold up. I did not know that this whole thing was taking place in Ohio. Yeah, that's definitely some bullshit. And honestly, unfortunately, they probably is gonna make this nigga come up off of some bread, bro. As after going to court, he definitely gonna have to cover the court fees beyond just his lawyer. Yeah, that's crazy. It's going on in Ohio. No wonder they kicked his door off of stupid accusations. I hope that this goes beyond just the Ohio Municipal Court.
The plaintiff is called Joseph Foreman as if on cross-examination.
You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. As this, you shall answer unto God.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Low-key surprised they didn't make him take his
Thank you,
shades
Your Honor.
off. Low-key surprised they did not make him take them
For the
shades
record,
off.
would you give us your name, please?
My name is Joseph Edgar Foreman.
You are known under the stage name as Afroman, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you create music videos and do performances, is
Yes,
that
sir.
right? How many states of the United States have you performed in, do you think?
All of them.
What relevance does that bear to anything? Like, why does it matter how many states has he ever performed in? Like, literally, they just try and count this nigga's pockets, bro. Like, you're a performer, you're an entertainer, you make money off of this, so you're just trying to make money. Well, if you're making money off of their pain, then you have to give them some of the money, is what it sounds like to me.
All 50.
Yes, sir.
And how many countries have you performed in?
I don't remember, but not all of them, but I've been to a few.
The plaintiff is called Joseph Foreman as if on cross-examination.
Like, for real, dog, what relevance does that bear to anything? How many countries have you performed in? How many states have you performed in? Bro, we sitting here talking about the fact that they unlawfully broke down my door and robbed me and shorted my account. What are we talking about? And now they feel bad that I outed them on the internet for being crooks. And now you asking how many countries have I performed?
You remember in your deposition when I asked you, why did you bring the news when you picked up the money?
One of the things that really kind of upset me, I was doing one of the things that really kind of upset me, I was doing an investigation as a detective, and I had to go all the way up to eastern Ohio on the Pennsylvania border. And when I walked into the deputy's room up there to talk to them, they all knew me, all knew that I'd been called a thief, lemon pound cake. You know, it's everywhere. You can go anywhere.
I think that's actually bad funny.
If people
You just call it
recognize
lemon
you,
pound
they
cake.
start that stuff, whether they're being sarcastic or what.
He just mad because he fat, and they was calling him lemon pound
Your
cake.
face been posted on some of these posts along with, or in the context of thief accusation?
What, according to he has posted my image, yes, several times on the internet.
He didn't even know what to call
He
him.
sold merchandise, sweatshirts, T-shirts, things of that nature at all of his venues. Matter of fact, they were for sale at a smoke shop in town.
Yo, Afroman really out here moving like the biggest menace. It said he's selling merch at his shows at the office. That's actually funny as hell. And that's why they mad. They just want a little bit of bread.
Those are all of my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. One of the things that really kind of upset me, very seldom ever have any trouble at anybody. Very, very rarely. You might get a drunk that was smart off or something of this nature. Then he starts calling us thieves on the internet, starts selling merchandise.
I kind of want to try and make like a banana syrup, you know?
Or something of this nature. Then he starts calling us thieves on the internet, starts selling merchandise as our photo on it. So now when you
But
go
that's
into a
crazy. How
bar
you
to
gonna be
for a
mad that you got
call,
called a thief on the
you
internet
got
when you was
people in there
actually
screaming.
stealing though? Like it was the judge even said that the money came up short. So that means that the cops was taking somebody stole it. Oh, if you mad, be mad that your friends is thieves, dog. Why you mad at this nigga for calling it out? Like, I don't know, man. The fact that the judge is even sitting here going back and forth with them is like for what? Whole thing sound pretty simple to me. Like these niggas robbed him and they feel like they had the right to do so. So he went online and made a song about it. And now they're mad that he made a song. For me, that just speaks to be a better person, nigga. Especially if you know it's on camera. If the cameras is rolling, then do what you would be proud of. Like, none of this would even be called into question. Like you said, if they never took the actions that they did to begin with, they would never even be having this conversation. And so it's really their fault. They caused the whole altercation by taking their actions. But now they want him to pay repercussions because he turned his pain into profit. Yeah.
When they gonna steal all of our money, you know, or you go on a call. I had one guy come out of a bedroom after me, call me a thief and want to know why I sold Afroman's money. It just went from being a nice, quiet community, a job you felt safe in, to a place where you had to look over your shoulder every second.
Do you think some of these people who called you thieves really thought you were?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would answer the phone at the sheriff's department because they were overwhelmed. I remember one day there was over 300 calls threatening us, calling us thieves. So we would have to go over and help dispatch because they were overwhelmed. There's only 2 dispatchers.
They're partially mad that they had to help do the job, but it was somebody else's job. But it's because of y'all, nigga. Again, the issues that were faced were because of your own actions.
So yeah, they didn't call me directly, but I answered the phone. They would cuss me, threaten to kill me, threaten to kill my kids, threaten to kill my wife. And it got to the point to where my wife and my children couldn't even go to Walmart.
cool.
You couldn't
That
go
is
in.
a little egregious right there. To threaten the safety of his wife and kids and like unaliving, that's extreme. Even unaliving for the matter is extreme. You saying that a nigga is a thief or an asshole or something, cool. But threatening to murk somebody's children, that's
To a gas
unnecessary.
station around here. My youngest daughter would hear the dogs bark at night and come in my room, wake me up terrified that somebody was there to kill us. Because even though they were young, they're still on Facebook. They still see this stuff. And it was just one after another after another. And when it would start to slow down, he would go back and do it all over again and get it all started again. Just like he did a couple of days ago. Very seldom ever have any trouble on anybody. Very, very
That's
rare. You
actually
might
funny
get a
as
trouble.
hell. It's that every time he finally die down a little bit, this nigga dropped another song. Honestly, I'm not mad at Afroman at all, though. It's like, why? The question is really just why.
This may sound stupid, but I believe it applies to myself. We're not the thinnest people in the world, are we?
I'm going to call you fat, but okay.
I was calling myself fat. But you would agree that we're not thin people.
Absolutely.
And you would agree that how you conduct yourself during a search and everything reflects directly on your reputation?
Absolutely.
You don't believe everything you
Absolutely.
read on the internet, do you?
No.
You actually
Honestly, with that comment right there, one, are you fat? Yes. Do you believe everything you read on the internet? No. then why are you mad about some shit that this nigga said about you on the internet? When part of it is true, you are fat, and the parts that aren't true, you just don't have to believe because you're smart enough to not believe everything on the internet. So what are we doing here?
Probably don't believe everything you read in the newspaper, do you?
No.
You would agree that Exhibit D that I played, the song Lemon Pound Cake, is a music video for entertainment?
There again, he made accusations that I smoke weed on there, which I don't.
So
that was a lie as well.
So you are suing based upon him saying you smoked weed in a song?
No, I'm just saying that
So that
goes
statement
along
is
with
not
He
part of
said
this
no.
lawsuit.
he's done.
But that's literally what he just
Okay.
said.
I say that goes along with some of the other rhetoric that he's told about us, lies he's told about us.
Could that be exaggeration to make the song funny?
I don't think it's funny.
Would a reasonable person listening to that believe that Mr. Foreman is stating facts?
You don't know what somebody's thinking. You wouldn't think we'd get 300 calls a day threatening to kill us. Somebody's buying into it.
This may sound stupid, but I believe it applies to myself. We're not the thinnest people in the world, are we?
I'm not going to call you fat, but okay.
Verdict for the
What is this? This attorney warns of harm if jury sides with Afroman? What you mean warns of harm? You gonna harm the jury?
will say that we don't condone, we don't approve. You can't get away with what Mr. Foreman's done. Not in this community, not in this country. That's not freedom of speech where we live.
How is it not freedom of speech? Like, he made a song. He said the song's not freedom. He said, first, he can't get away with this. Not in this community. Bro, what? That's not freedom of speech. Then what is it? The nigga was talking. You feel me? That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
That's what a verdict for the plaintiffs will say. Let's look at another possible future if there were to be a verdict for the defendant, or if there were to be a verdict with a small amount of money attached to it. In that case, in that world, in that future, the world is told what he did is okay. What they went through is no big deal. We don't really care. We think it's fine. That's what
Overall, they'll be
a
all right.
verdict
They'll be
for
straight.
the defendant or a small verdict would say. They would go home subject to even more ridicule. Yeah, you took him on and you lost. See what he did was fine. I don't have to tell you, you know, that's not the message we want to send. It's not the message you want to send. Folks, I'm done. I've done all I can. These folks called me 3 years ago now and asked, what can we do to stop this? And here we are today. I've done what I can. They've done what they can. They've suffered through the publicity. They could have stopped this case at any time if they would have kowtowed to the pressure, public humiliation that Mr. Foreman continued to put them through, but they didn't. They bravely stood behind their case and their right
Didn't they kind of
not
put
to
themselves to
be
this public
drugged through the mud with
humiliation? They
lies
put themselves
in
to
the
this
media.
public humiliation by trying to
They've done
continue
all they
to
can.
push for a verdict of money. Like, if they didn't
Now,
open up the lawsuit and continue pushing for the
I am
lawsuit, this shit would have been done already. Like, what are you
giving
talking about? I mean, he might have kept making
their
songs, and I
case,
damn sure would have
this
kept selling the
decision
merch.
to you. Verdict for the plaintiffs will say that we don't.
I'm excited. But it's like you kind of forgot what photo you took. The what? I know, maybe. I'm still having a sharp pain, are you? Like, I didn't go to bed until 6 in the morning. Like right here. Yeah, maybe they should have eaten. Lunch later. Only what, a date?
All right, so there you have it. Some of the details on this Afroman case. They out here trying to hug this nigga, bro. They kicked down his door, they broke his gate, they stole his cake, and they stole his bread. And then they opened up his safe, and they was accusing him of being a human trafficker and a dope dealer, all in the same breath. Hopefully, they leave this man alone and just let him live his life, bro. It seemed like they found out that he makes money selling his music and selling merch, and now they want a piece of the pie. And 3.9 million is low-key egregious work. Because if he made $4 million off of selling their t-shirts, if I was them, I'd stop trying to make him stop selling it and figure out a way to partner with him and make this shtick go even bigger. What are they talking about, bro?